Hi everyone, it's Brenda Quintana here. I wanted to share how I made my thank you cards for September. I'm not sure when I'm going to release this video, but I made these thank you cards. These are for September orders. I made them in all different colors because the paper I chose had different colors in it. So I'm going to show you how I made them. This is the beautiful paper that I use. It's called Regal Winter, and I'll have a link down below to all the products I use for this card today. This is 12 by 12 paper. I made about 60 cards, and I used a full pack of paper plus 2 extra sheets out of a second pack. And the cool thing about this design was that I'm just going to pull out here. This is all that was left over out of 14 sheets of paper. It really used up the paper really well. So it's kind of cool if you cut it down in the correct manner. You can really maximize this card. I think this card would make a really great Christmas card. I didn't use Christmas as my greeting for this card, but the stamp set, the bundle that I use, this is the Christmas labels bundle, and you just have a look here. It comes with these dies, these awesome dies, and these words that match. And so the label that I used on the front, you can see this, says celebrate the holidays in all the ways, and it has those cute little kind of cut lines. And then you open up the card and look at that. So this card, I saw this card done by a demonstrator by the name of Georgia Lane, and she called it the Amazing Trifold card. Now, her card was slightly different in dimensions. I took her card and I made my own dimensions. I love the design of it, but I had to make 60 cards because these are thank you cards, and they're also team cards that I put out in the mail. Every month I have a team meeting, and we have prizes like door prizes, and I have a creative share on my team page, and I send out prizes for that too. So I use the same cards, the thank you cards that I make for my customers. I also use them for my teams when I send them out prizes, because when I send out something like a prize, I want to send out a card with that too, because we're card makers. So I thought this I just love these cards. Anyway, that is who I got the design. Her website or her YouTube is Creative Moments by G. So I will link to her down below. But just know that this card and these dimensions of this card are slightly different. You know what? I think I might do a project sheet for this card too. So when I release this video, I will also, that week, I will release a project sheet on the weekend like I do for my Friday videos, because I think this is such a nice card that you might want a project sheet for it to remember it. So I will do that for you guys. All right. Let's get started. Oh, one last thing. I will probably be releasing this in October, so I will just let you know I have a host code going for the month of October. So if you want a thank you card from me for order in October, this one will be this. It won't be this one. October's card will be different, but I always send out thank you cards for orders like once a month. There's my host code, and if you spend at least $50, now this is before tax and shipping, you will get a package of the Regal Foil Dots, and I will be mailing those out in November. So just in case you want to order, I will have all the supplies for this card down below. So if you're interested in getting anything, just make yourself a note of what you need, and afterwards you'll have access to the supply list so you can order it. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to switch to my other camera here. All right, I already told you about Christmas labels. This is in the holiday catalog. I love this. It's got such great greetings. And The one that I think would be really cool, which one was it? This one, Merry Christmas to You. This one fits in the same label as this one. And this one in particular, this one is the one we're going to make. And I think this would make an awesome Christmas card. Don't you think? And it's not hard. I'm going to show you how to make it. All right, let's set those aside. This paper, oh my gosh, it is so gorgeous. Back sides and front sides. It is, you know what? I didn't realize how gorgeous it was. I kind of overlooked it because it wasn't really screaming Christmas paper. Now this paper and this paper are a little bit similar, but their backs are different. It is just gorgeous, gorgeous paper. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Okay, so I've already used up almost a full pack of this paper just making these cards, but I still have paper left over. So that's kind of cool that I'm on my second pack, but I didn't have to obliterate more than one pack. So for my design, you're going to start off with a piece of cardstock that is 6.5 by 5.5. I'm going to use my scoring board, but you can also use a trimmer for this. So let's just pop this up here and put the 6.5-inch side up at the top. And you're going to score at the 4¼ inch mark. Easy peasy. Then you can just fold this in half. Now I'll give you a little tip. If you're making a lot of these, say this is going to be your Christmas card. Grab your 8.5 by 11-inch sheet of cardstock. On the 8.5-inch side, cut it down to 6.5. Then bring it over to your scoring board. So you're going to have a 6.5 by 11-inch piece on here. Put the 6.5-inch side up at the top. Score all the way down on the 4¼ inch mark. And then cut it at 5.5 on the opposite side. And then you can score 2 of these card bases at the same time. That's what I did. It saved me a lot of time. Now, when you're cutting your designer series paper, if you're making a lot of these, out of one sheet of paper, I'm going to just move this out of the way a little bit. Out of one sheet of paper, let's zoom out here. Out of one sheet of paper, 12 by 12, you can make 4 cards. So what I did, the first thing I did was I cut my one side at the 8-inch mark, okay? And so that left me with a, I'm trying to just think. Yes, it was, yes. It was the 8-inch mark, yes. 8-inch mark, okay? And then I took that 8-inch by 12-inch piece and I scored it and then I cut it. I'll give you the measurements for the scoring in just a second. Then I was left over with this 4-inch by 12-inch piece, which I cut into strips of 5¼ by 2 inches. So you can get 4 5¼ by 2 inch pieces out of this side. So that means one sheet of paper will make you 4 cards. So that's kind of cool. Okay, so you get your piece of paper, your designer series paper. If you're just making one card, then you cut a piece that's 8 inches by 3 inches. Grab your scoring tool or grab your paper trimmer. You can score on there as well. Put this 8-inch side up at the top and you're going to score at the 1 7/8 inch mark, the 3-inch mark, and the 5.5 inch mark. Okay? So you've got those measurements on there. And what we're going to do is we're going to fold this one, keep it the same way as it was on the scoring board. Fold this one this way. And then there's 2 score marks close together. So we're going to come back and we're going to fold it like a Z. But we're not going to fold this in the opposite direction. We're not going to make a full accordion. We're going to make this a mountain fold too. So you've got a mountain, and then a valley. Okay, so if you're taking your score marks that you made from left to right. Your first one you fold as a mountain, the second one is also a mountain, and then the third one is a valley. Okay? So then remember what I said, you're going to cut those pieces into 2 inches by 5¼ inches. That's long skinny piece. I'm going to flip this over to the other side. So we've got a nice different side of the paper. And we're going to take this 2 and 5 by 5¼ piece, and we're going to glue it down first. And then we're going to glue that other piece down. So let's grab this. And there's, you know, the easiest way I found to do this is to open this up and to kind of do this like this, because I can see really well if this is straight on the long way. And I can also kind of make sure everything looks good. Okay, so now let's glue this piece. So I'm going to fold this down like this. So we've got that first piece here, like this. And that extra little mountain at the front, just lay it flat like this for now. We're gonna glue this like this, but we wanna glue this back side first. And we're only going to put glue, you'll notice that this little piece overhangs here. We're only gonna put glue on this piece, not on the overhang. So we'll put glue, this is the side that's gonna face down because we have that floral side facing up. And I'm going to turn this so that that extra overhanging piece right here is facing towards the crease of my card. We're gonna glue this on the inside of the card. So that little overhang right here, that's gonna face towards the crease of the card. We're gonna take this and we're gonna center it as best we can on the back of the card using this score line and this edge of the card as kind of our guides for centering it. And I'm just gonna roughly see, okay, is there the same amount of distance here and here? And just look here, does that look all the way the same distance? And then when it looks good, just give it a little press down. And now we're gonna open this up and we're going to glue this part over to here. So I just wanna show you, here is that first score line right here. We're gonna put glue about maybe ½ an inch away from that score line. So let me just show you. You don't wanna go all the way over to the score line because that is gonna hang over just a bit. So have a look here. So there is the score line, kind of see it. I'm about ½ an inch away from that in terms of glue. And then we're going to fold like this, not on this first score line, but on this score line here. And we're gonna fold that over and press it down. And that is basically the base of your card. And this is such pretty paper. It's like, isn't that gorgeous? It is just phenomenal. I love it. For the inside piece, this is a very small piece. So this is not a good card if you want to write a long message, unless you want to put your message on the back, maybe with another white piece. But this piece here measures 2 1/4 by 2 3/4. It's the perfect size for a little mini message. So we're just gonna add glue and just add that to this back panel. And when you do that, you're gonna see just a tiny bit of that paper peeking on the outside. So it kind of has a nice little look to it. And you still have all of this paper to show that pretty pattern. Okay, let's create the label for the front of the card. So what I did to best make use out of a piece of basic white, I first scored my piece because I know that I can fit 4 labels across my 11-inch side. So I scored at the 2 3/4 inch mark, the 5 1/2 inch mark. and I know I could figure out what this next measurement was, but I just turned it and scored at the 2 3/4 inch mark again, because I knew that was easier for my brain. So I did that on the 11-inch side of a full piece of this paper. And then I went the other side and I cut it into strips of 2 1/8. So I have like these widths of 2 1/8. And then I just take my stamp and whatever color I use. So basically the way I chose my colors, the card base matched the color of ink I was going to use, except for one. I think for this one, I thought the wild wheat would be a little too light. So then I decided to use the Blackberry Bliss instead, just to make it a little darker. But basically choose a dark color either from your card base or choose it from your paper. Then go ahead and ink up your stamp. And then just center it. If you can see your score lines here, you're just going to center it between the score lines. And now you know you're going to be able to fit enough for greetings all the way across and not mess up. So let's grab our Stamp and Cut Emboss machine. Really, you could use your mini, but I have forgotten my mini. I have a mini with one pad missing, and it's over in the other room. So we're going to do this on the big machine. Let's grab our base platform number 1, our thin die adapter number 2. We're going to grab, we need a cutting plate on the bottom. And we're going to grab this, and we're going to grab our die, which I think I put away. This one. Like, all of these are really nice. This is definitely a bundle that's worthy of us and our Christmas projects because the label is so cool. So I'm just going to make sure the words can be seen in all of the windows. And then, oh shoot, I just moved this and my die shifted. I should have adjusted my plates beforehand so that they were in the right spot. Okay, oh, now my finger stuck to the die. Okay, now we're good. We could also take a piece of Post-it and labeling cover-up tape, but I'm going to live dangerously. I'm just going to run this through. Okay, let's release this label. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? So I wanted to back up the back of this label because when we open this, I thought it would look nice if it looked the same as the cardstock color. So that extra strip of cardstock, when you cut your card bases, you're going to end up with a small strip of about 2 inches wide, and you're also going to be able to get 4 out of each of those strips. So it's nice because it also uses a card base, the piece of cardstock for your card base very well. So we're just going to take this and now cut an extra backing label for our piece. We'll run that through. So fun. All right. Oh, I'm throwing things around. Let me put this away and pick up my label from the floor that I dropped. Okay, so now we're just going to take this label and we're going to put glue on the back of it. Just lightly, like that. Oh, my lighting's not really that great. Let's see if I can twist it so you can see it. There we go. You can kind of see I very lightly drew glue on the back of there. And then I'm going to add this label right to the back of it. And I'm going to line it up with my fingers. And yes, there are like there's a little bit of separation between the lines because those are actual cut lines. But when you double it up like that, it works out really well. So then the last thing we're gonna do is we can only glue half of the label. So we're gonna glue this front half onto here because this label actually sticks out, so we don't wanna put glue all the way through. So what I do is, okay, I go this side right here. This is the side I wanna put glue on. So this is the side right here. So we're gonna put glue on here. And I kind of do this the same way. I just squeeze a teeny tiny bit and just kind of rub it over. And then we're gonna turn this and we're gonna center this. Those little points right there, they're gonna be roughly along this edge right here. And then you're just gonna eyeball it and you're gonna go, okay, same distance from top to bottom, and then we're gonna give it a little press. The one thing you could still do is add some jewels to the front of these. I didn't do these for my cards because I have to send a whole bunch of these, and I didn't want to take a chance of them getting ruined in the mail, so I decided not to add any jewels. Besides, this paper is absolutely gorgeous. You could also add a bow to this, but as this card will not drive you crazy if you make these into Christmas cards. And remember, we have this great greeting, Merry Christmas to you. Beautiful. Don't like that, don't want a Christmas greeting. This one works really well. Celebrate the holidays in all the ways. We've got peace on earth, which I think that's absolutely something that we all want right now. Love and joy. And they have different labels match each of these greetings. So they would all work nicely on the front of your card. It's a very nice bundle for adding messages to your cards. All right. Okay. So I want to just share with you one more time. Look at how fun this is. It's kind of got this extra little folded piece that I've never seen before. I love it. Okay, I want to share with you the other cards that I made. They are all pretty in their own way. And then the one that I made. And okay, this is my basket of cards before I have mailed them all out. There's like, all of this is like 60 cards. It's crazy, right? Sometimes to make that many cards, but that did not drive me crazy at all. 60 cards is totally doable with this particular pattern. I hope you like this. And if you received one of them, I hope you really enjoyed it. I always take great pride in making thank you cards for my customers. Now, not every month is it like a fancy fold. Sometimes they're a little simpler, but I really try really hard to find something special to send as a thank you card. And I really appreciate all the orders that came in. So thank you so much. So I will sign off now. I will have a blog post for this. I have a supply list down below. And this weekend, no matter which weekend I post this, I will send out an extra project sheet that weekend to have this, so that you have this for your card so you can remember this fun fold, because I think this is one that you're going to want to do over and over again. So I'll sign off now. Have a great week, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.